All right, welcome to Behind Enemy Lines. Sorry, we're so fucking late. We're having technical issues, and I'm so excited about having Josh on. So is Mike, and there's something going on with our rendezvous link to get him into our podcast, and we've been trying. That's why we're late, and so I'm bummed. Um,
I'm assuming it's a curse.
yeah, it's a curse. It's a Severino curse. Severino's cursing me.
Yeah, well, he'll be dealing with his own curse shortly, it sounds
I
like.
know lots of people are excited, so we'll figure this out and get him back on. Unfortunately, we've been trying. He's tried a million times. Josh tried to get on his girlfriend's phone. There's some technical snafu going on here. So we promise.
How does a trans Indian have a girlfriend?
Yeah, you blew it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, yes, sorry, I fucked up.
He blew his cover.
Yeah.
He'll never be the same.
So I apologize. I know people are like watching. They're probably pissed off and hate my ass right now. But Ben Berquam's joining. We were going to have a nice conversation with the trans indigenous Indian and the trans indigenous Mexican. And I'm sorry. So sorry, guys. So forgive me. But what do you want for huh? What do you want for you could buy a My Pillow, Bell 1776. And then we'll
That's right.
be able to afford more technical support. Bell 1776. Oh yeah, it's Christmas. You go to mypillow.com.
Right.
Bell, I think it's just BEL 1776. Buy a few pillows for grandma. That'd be awesome. And then maybe we could hire someone to fix the app so that we could get Josh on here by next week.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll figure it out. I'm so sorry. So Ben's going to join any minute. I guess we're going to have to wing it. We're going to have to wing it and figure out what the hell we're going to talk about. So I know you did some shows earlier today, Mike. We could talk about some of the things that you talked on some of your other shows. Mike does a number of different shows for Ex America News, so they have different podcast hosts, and he's also a guest and producer on a number of different shows. Just in case you don't know that, he's on Ex America News. He and we are all part of Ex America News. And then some of you guys that are watching us on Facebook, now that I'm finally back on Facebook after Severino took me off. And
Tried to.
yeah, he did for a little while, but I'm taking him out big time. Big time. The rhino's down. We'll save that for another day. Save it for another day. Oh man. You want to show a couple of the clips of Josh? I know everyone that's watching already knows who he is, but let's put a couple on just to give him a little.
All right, we got one set up. I'm working on the other ones. Here we
I'm
go.
trans-indigenous.
Trans-indigenous.
Are you cis-American? I'm trans-indigenous for ICE. We love ICE.
You love ICE.
We love ICE. We love ICE. Deport them all. You're all trespassers on our land.
Well,
Trans-indigenous people are indigenous people, and you're all trespassers on our land, and we want Bovino to deport all of you guys. We love ICE. Trans natives love ICE. We love you, ICE.
what nation are
We
you
love
from?
ICE. The trans nation. Trans nation is just as valid as cis nations. You're not trans native phobic, are you?
No, but I'm not
Okay, I'm
familiar
just
with
checking.
that term. I'm hoping you could.
You're a cis American. I'm trans indigenous. You really need to check your privilege because you're talking to a beautiful trans indigenous person of color right now.
I believe that I am, and I'm hoping to learn more about your personality.
I'll educate you
Please,
because
please.
you're cis pigmented and I'm trans pigmented, and I'm trying to educate you.
So
My name's Walking Tomahawk.
Walking Tomahawk. Okay, I'm Chad.
Chad, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Walking Tomahawk and Chad here out supporting ICE because we love ICE. They need to deport all the cis illegals that came here illegally.
Abolish ICE
We
because
love
they have
ICE.
No
I
authority
speak
over
for
our
all
land.
Native American people when I say
This
we
is-
love ICE.
Hey Ben, how are you, man?
What's up, brother?
That's a
That's
cool
probably-
background. What is that? Green screen?
No, I'm actually outside in the fog. This
Are
is
you
like
really? Are you joking?
in California. Yeah, legit.
Holy cow! That's you
yeah.
look like you're on a set or something.
Nice.
Really, it does. It's like holy
Cool.
shit. It's good. It's good. So
I can't see you the way everything's skewed, but it's great to be with you.
Yeah. So we're unfortunately we're having technical issues with Josh. He's tried 20 times.
Oh my gosh. Make sure he has the Wireless Go app. I just realized when I tried to launch mine, you have to do it through the app now.
The Wireless Go app.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you spelled my name wrong. You're missing my Q, but that's okay.
All right, well, we'll fix
GQ.
that right now.
GQ.
Oh, I'm
Are we
texting.
live?
Yeah, we're on right now.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is live TV, baby.
Ben is on down.
There it
This
is.
must be.
Yeah. So it's same thing on when I tried to launch it. It said you have to go to Wireless Go. Yeah, this fog looks amazing with the way it's like dropping. It's like
Sorry,
it's
it's
crazy.
a wireless what, Ben?
Wireless Go app.
Yeah, if you're on an iPhone now, it makes you download the app to log in. And Terry, I think you're sending that to me, not to the guest.
Oh shit!
It's one of those. It's been one of those evenings. You got quite an introduction playing our background video there. So, what are you in California for this time? Are you investigating the Turtle Island group that was going to attack on New Year's Eve?
No, although I could. Actually, we have family out here. I'm trans indigenous from California.
Right.
Steal my Josh's term, or one of Josh's terms. No, we're transplants or refugees. We used to live out here when the state was beautiful, and sadly, it's just been destroyed by leftism, just like Illinois has. And so we escaped a few years ago, moved back to America, and we live in Arkansas now. But we have family out here, so we spend a couple months a year out here, and do some work while I'm here, track down liberals and lefties, and go to San Francisco and LA and expose what what liberal policy actually does to people in a state. So I'll be doing a little bit of that, but just hanging out with family as well.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, watch yourself. Make sure you don't step on any syringes while you're out there. Yeah,
feces and needles, baby. Feces and needles.
You would think at some point there would be a breaking point where they demand some change and want to, at least clean up the city. They'd probably keep the rest of their policy. But, when you got homeless camps popping up where houses were burned down outside L.A., and they're not issuing building permits. I mean, I've been watching this stuff on the coastline over there. It's like disgusting. They're moving the homeless now out of the city up to the Hollywood Hills, wherever else. And I'm sure it's to force the residents out, the ones that have been stubborn enough to stay there, or the ones who are fortunate enough not to have had their homes burned. But it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's I grew up actually I'm in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. That's where I grew up. We lived here for 30 years. My parents still live here. It's a beautiful part of the state, but it's a part of the state that was destroyed because of radical environmentalists that came in and said timber harvesting is evil. We have to protect the spotted owl, and the way we do that is we're going to destroy the timber harvesting industry. So instead of having 9 mills, we went down to 1 that is barely functional now. And instead of cutting down 250,000 acres of renewable forest every year and managing it and controlling the fires, now we burn over 1 million acres a year. And the same is true for Southern California. All of those areas, the Hollywood Hills, all of those areas around Malibu that burned were unmanaged. And it was for decades because of radical leftists who said, oh, we can't touch this pristine habitat. There's some tiger salamander or yellow-legged frog or some fairy shrimp that might have habitat. So we can't touch this anymore. And so you end up burning down all these houses. And now, lo and behold, the government comes in. They take all the grant money. They don't give it to the people. They extort you. And we just had a major fire up here 5 years ago. And there's still people up in the Sierra Nevada that still have not gotten their permits to build. Some of them are just starting building right now, 5 years later. So I hate to break it to all of my Southern California friends, but don't expect anything anytime soon. This is the destruction. This is what leftism gets you. They replace people with animals and logic with insanity. That's what we're up against in places like California, unfortunately.
Well, I'm sure you saw the mayor the other day out there at her press conference trying to brag about the first home that was almost rebuilt. Turns out they filed for the permit before the fire. The fire just sped up the demolition process. But I guess you got to be a year and a half ahead of things before they're going to let you start. And I hope.
I mean, it's insane. And you know what the crazy thing is? People vote for these idiots. I know. I mean, California has perfected election fraud. There's no doubt about it. That's why they want all the illegals. That's why they gave all the illegals driver's licenses, and they don't want to check the voter rolls, and they don't allow you to check IDs. But beyond that, there are still idiots that vote for these idiots. And, that's the crazy thing to me. At some point, if we're that stupid of a population that we're going to vote for somebody like Karen Bass or Gavin Newsom or, oh, God forbid, Eric Swalwell for the next governor, but he's actually better than this Hobbs guard, Katie, whatever the hell her last name is. It's from bad to worse. And the crazy thing is, because of radical leftism, because of mainstream media, because of the propaganda in our education system and all of their little bubbles of communist leftism, they think we're the crazy ones. They literally think that. I was in Seattle and I went to these baristas. I just posted that video today, and I'm trying to have a conversation with these. And actually, we ended up having a decent conversation. But the mindset of these, especially the young people, they are so out of it. They are gone. And I just pray. I pray we have enough sane-minded people that are finally willing to say, nope, we're not going down that road anymore. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. We're going to deport every illegal. We're not going to allow you to transgender our kids. We're not going to LGBT the world. We're not going to we're not going to replace capitalism with communism. We're not going to kill more babies. All of these things, we're going to say, nope, we're not compromising with it anymore. We're going to defeat you. And even as importantly, to the rhinos on our side who've allowed this crap to go on for so long, we're going to say, you guys are out. It's either you stand up for the values that we believe in or you're gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, since we kind of winged it to show some radical, crazy, I sent you two little, 60-second clips of a couple radicals here in Illinois that are crazy, just like the ones that Josh makes fun of. Ben and I we see it all the time. You see it nationally, everywhere, globally, right? Illinois is so full. So there's two little clips here that when our ICE agents, our buddies, right? And they always have big protests here, and there's nobody from our side, Ben. You see, from Chicago, I just never. So I went with a young girl, Emily Cahill. She's awesome. She's the one that holds the ICE sign. Emily,
yeah.
Right. So we went to this hotel by our house where these scumbags were protesting, just me and Emily. And so I go, okay, Emily, I'm going to come around the back and I'm going to film you coming up with I Love ICE sign, the one that she's always on. And we're going to watch them attack you and make fools of themselves. Right. So I sneak around the back, and here comes Emily with her sign, and I'm slowly walking and filming. And so that the video he's downloaded now is this lady, Whack Job, who was right after Charlie was murdered. We're going to be being out at Charlie's Amfest later this week, which I'm really excited. It's kind of being it's kind of weird going, right? But I'm very excited there to respect the man. And this is about a week or two afterwards. And this radical leftist knew who I was, and she wishes I was dead like Charlie Kirk. So I don't know. And then the next one, it's the same location. So we're in Lombard, Illinois. And this guy in a long jacket comes up, he's my age, gray hair, and he tells me I can't stand on the sidewalk. And you go through this, right? They're all on the sidewalk. They're on the grass. They're telling me I can't stand on the sidewalk.
Hey, demand your privilege. Demand your sanctuary. I'm illegal anytime that happens. That's why Josh is so great. He flips all the insanity on him.
I know everyone's upset. I got so many people here local from Chicago. Now that I'm back on Facebook, the people Facebook, for me at least, is more people in Illinois. Twitter is more kind of national.
Yeah.
Facebook, now that thank God I got back on, and thank you for the person who helped me. And I think you know who he is. I'll tell you later. I don't want to say it because Severino's watching every move I do, and you'll definitely know who it is. And somebody helped me politically, and thank you. I'm glad. I just lost 5,000 of my followers. But I don't care. I'm back on. I'm so excited to be back on with our community and people to have the chance to see it. Did you get that uploaded?
We got the first one ready, so you want me to roll that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. They said anything about the hotel, but I know they said no Target. So
they all look the same too.
Terry.
It's like,
hey, how are you?
Hi, Terry. Hi, Terry.
You like me, don't you?
I hate you.
Am I making you horny? Am I making you horny, you old crab?
It's not a face. It's definitely in the eyes.
Thing you stand
She
for.
loves ice.
Lord.
Hi. I hate you.
Did you get out of the convalescent home?
Read my sign. Same to you. Are you dead yet?
Am I dead?
Go away. Go away. You're not welcome here.
Neither are you. Neither are the legals. The legals are not welcome here.
Go away.
The illegals, we want them out, all of them.
Really? Who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to clean your house? Who's going to change your sheets in the
Racist.
hotels you stay in? Who's going to cook your food?
Not illegals.
Yeah, go away, Terry.
No.
You don't have a grasp on reality at all.
Terry Newsom. Terry Newsom. Podcast host. Behind enemy
Terry
lines.
Newsom.
Behind enemy lines.
Just so you know, Terry, we have to keep the sidewalk clear.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm telling
So the next clip that I just got back on Facebook that got 100,000 views.
so good.
It's like crazy. Then now the next one picks up where this old guy tells me I got to get off the sidewalk. And poor Emily. So this was I wanted to get Emily, right? I want to get her in action and make it her, to show her, give her the courage.
Yeah.
That woman, why that lady knows me? Because remember I told you down where I live is crazy, Downers Grove.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
one of the leftists that was going at, when I spoke out against the porn. So that's how people identified her. She's from Downers Grove. She hates me because
What
of
a
Downers
witch.
Grove.
What
I
an
didn't
evil
want the-
witch.
I didn't want the BJ pictures of my kid's school. I'm not
Yeah.
against gay kids.
Oh, yeah. How terrible of you. How terrible of you not to want pedophiles to be grooming your children. Yeah. Just awful of you, Terry.
So this next guy, that guy that you just saw me, just set this up, by the way. I'm in Lombard. I assumed, first of all, when he said he's got a badge, I thought he was a police officer or detective. And I thought he was from Lombard, right? And he's from Elmhurst. He's like 3 cities over. I didn't know this at the time. And she's like, I got a badge. He's an elected alderman. I was elected. I quit because the Republican Party sucks. I was twice elected. I just quit. I'm like, fuck that. You guys are wasting my time. I'm like, I have fun doing what we're doing, and I'm not wasting my time. So, here, are you all ready, Mike?
No, that other one off Facebook's not going to play. We're having that same audio glitch we had with the other Facebook video. On,
Damn, that sucks. So,
We can imagine it. Just think crazy
Yeah.
lefty, deranged, demonic, crazy lefty that says ridiculous things, and all you do is, my favorite part, Terry, is when they say, "Oh, don't talk to him, don't talk to him. He's just going to make you look bad." And I'm like, we don't have to do anything. All we have to do is show up, and you make yourself look like the nut jobs that you are.
Yep. You know what? And I tell everybody I learned from Ben because I was always more confrontational, like fuck that, and you do it perfectly. And you want them to talk. You want them to show instead of saying "F you" and calling them out. It's like then
Yeah.
it's over with and it's done.
Yeah.
And then mostly they will do a 180. Either they'll tell us they don't want to talk to us, or they'll get aggressive.
Right.
Us.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I always come in with the approach, and my goal is always the same. I try to plant seeds where I can, because at all of these events, there are people out here that show up that were, goaded into coming out, that want to be a part of something, that don't really know any better. And they're just out there repeating the same things that they were told. They've been, they were raised in a leftist education. They had communist parents, whatever. But behind that, in the back of their mind, there's some cognitive dissonance going on. They're like, man, this doesn't quite make sense. And so I go out there and I'm always looking for those people to say, hey, if you think this is as retarded as we do, if you actually think for yourself and have a brain, let's have a conversation. And even when I'm talking to the crazies, so those are my primary targets, the people that we can plant seeds with. And even if we don't get them that day, over time, I've had people come up to me and be like, hey, Ben, I watched your video 2 years ago and I thought you were nuts and I hated you. And I even emailed you terrible things. And then I watched some more of your videos and I watched some more and I watched someone else's videos. And all of a sudden I'm like, man, I actually believe what you believe. And so there's that part of it. But the other side is it's too much fun, man. I mean, just mocking them. There's a part of society, this whole idea when we started giving trophies to everybody and we stopped bullying people. It's like, there was some good bullying. There was some good to bullying. You had to, bullying pushed bad ideas out of society. We've got to start shaming bad ideas out of society. So everything I do is twofold. It's to plant seeds where I can plant them, and it's to shame these demons out of society and to say, you know what, we're just done with this. We're done with this nonsense. We're not going to compromise with it anymore. We're not going to capitulate. We're not going to act. We're not going to bend over like the rhinos have and say we're sorry. We're just going to stand up. And that's where, people like you come in, Terry, and you take it to the next level. So it's always nice to have you there because I'm always trying to find the common ground, always trying to keep it peaceful. But it's always nice to have a little loose cannon around just in case, just to keep them on their toes.
One of my funnest, both in the same event with you, is with the T-Rex with the little arms.
Yeah.
And I wish, we knew we were going to go in this pivot, I would have had that. And so Ben and I were at the Ice Center in Broadview, and he's got 2 signs. And I usually don't take a sign, but he had this, so I got the sign. And I have tinnitus. When I worked in the movie Stuntman, I did not wear my ear protection like a dumb, cocky dago for a whole year working on the Untouchables. And they shoot the guns off, and I got tinnitus bad, really bad. And so I got Ben's sign, I got my phone, and this little T-Rex comes up with this megaphone. And when they put it on siren, you guys, it's super loud. And she's putting it in my ear. So I got Ben's sign, and I'm trying to muffle it. And I'm going like this, and she's getting mad. And she grabbed my sign and threw it over the concrete barrier. And then I'm going to get it, and she put it in my ear again. So I tried to yank her megaphone out of her hand, and then I let go, and I saw the cops. You saw the state police, and then she starts screaming, "He assaulted me!" And her T-Rex, and she's putting the megaphone in my ear, your ear, the cops, arrest him, And then I was being nice, actually, not that you weren't. And I went right away. One of the first times, I'm like, okay, I'll be nice to the police officer. He's asking me, would you please go on the other side? And so I said, I go, okay. And I usually don't do that. And then Ben stayed over there. And then I hear Ben, they're telling him to move. He's like, why should I move? They can't control themselves. It's not us. It's them.
Yeah.
They can't control, because she started going with you with the thing. I don't know how you could do it with your ears, man. She got, so that was actually, that was one of my funny incidences. And then we left and went to the corner. And the guy with the dreadlocks was getting aggressive, and I think I pretty much called him out on his toughness and made him, even though he tried to pretend he wasn't tough. And because I don't know if I told you this, I went back again 2 times after that. Once after we were on that poster, the wanted poster, you, me, Benny, and stuff. But I was masked up, and I was by myself, and there was tons of them there. And then this one lady who's there all the time. So I'm like, trying to figure out what I'm going to film, and there's a lot of people here, and I was a little on edge because you could tell the different crowds, right, Ben, from just goofy and
definitely
dressed up for trouble, right? So I'm like, I was like on edge, and doing this stuff. It's a mix of fun, like what Ben said, and talking to him and making him goofy, and it's some fear and excitement at the same time. It depends on just who's there and what's going on.
Right.
So
it can switch from good times to bad times in a second.
Yeah, so I slithered in the back, the same spot we were with the T-Rex, but it was all full of people. And then I'm going back, and they had 2 little bands singing goofy leftist stuff. And then the one chick goes, "That's him. It's Terry Newsom." I had my mask on. I'm like this. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, and she's, "That's him." And then the guy with the dreadlocks was there, and he's like, "Hey, Terry." And then another guy the guy that got shot with the pepper balls in his back.
Oh yeah. He tried to start a fight with me for starting the fight with the T-Rex, and I wasn't even involved with the T-Rex other than being assaulted by the T-Rex.
Yeah. And so they went to tell their buddies, right? And I'm like, oh shit. And then she's like, "Stay away from me. Stay away from me. My life's in danger."
Oh my gosh. That's
I'm
awesome.
like, what a goofball, And then the next time I went after, so I didn't stay that long because they were all taking they start taking your pictures and texting each other. I'm
Right.
Like, yeah. I was alone. There was nobody else.
Yeah.
So I left. And then the other time I went back, and that black guy was there with the dreadlocks filming me, and I'm filming him. He's like, "What's up, Ter?" And then I was talking to somebody that was reasonable, right? Like you do, you know what I mean? And then he's standing there, and he's like talking reasonable to me. He ended up being a nice guy. I got his number. I'm going to have him on the show.
That's funny. No way.
Have him on.
By the time I left, it's so funny when we started doing that. Anyone who saw that video, he wanted to fight. He was screaming. There was no getting to him. And I kept saying, "You're going to be my friend one day." I forget what I kept calling him. I think his real name's Darren, but I kept calling him like Dequarius or something. I don't know, something like that. And that was what I heard when I heard somebody say his name. That was the word I kept saying, the name I kept saying, but apparently it was wrong. But anyways, he was so out of his mind. But the next day I saw him, and he was a little bit less. And I was like, "You're going to be my friend, Darren, whatever his name is, Dequarius." And then eventually it was like, the wall started coming down. And I can't remember if we shook hands or we just fist bumped. But the last time I saw him, and that's the thing. When you go out to these things, you meet people like that who are out of their minds, angry, miserable at the world. And then they see you, and if given time, if they don't just immediately turn to violence, and then there's no coming back together on that.
Yeah.
Then there's some common ground usually that you can find. It's like, oh, okay, we actually agree. If you're not want to murder babies, think that Charlie Kirk's assassination was a good thing, believe in communism and want to destroy this country from within. If you're not that, if you don't believe that evil, then there's probably some common ground where we can come together on. And so that's really the hope for that. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even these septum ring, blue-haired baristas, I mean, you can get through to some of them sometimes too. If you start, asking them, oh, do you guys want to start, tip sharing here? Why don't you institute communism here at the Starbucks? Well, you're going to have to include the manager and the dish tank guy and whoever else. I mean, the other thing is, if you let these people talk, sometimes they'll say more than they wanted to, but you'll get their real intentions. I got a good video somebody else shot of one of these admitting they basically want illegals over here for slaves. So I can run that if you guys want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, couldn't do what we do in this country without immigrant labor.
So you feel like you need illegal immigrants to pick food for you at lower than minimum wage. Is that what you want?
Let me ask you, are people going to pay citizens of the United States, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants,
or Italians or Indians or
other people
Native
who
Americans
have immigrated to the United States
legally and correctly through our correct process?
You are a Johnny One Note. Let me quote from an AI summary. Enslaved African Americans.
You might want to pull up a real source.
Well, this is based on a lot of sources, and if you want me to go there, I will. But the enslaved African Americans provided the majority of labor that built many of Washington, D.C.'s most iconic original structures, including the White House and the Capitol. This was the center of slavery.
So I for one, am glad that slavery is over. I don't want it to continue in the form of illegal immigrants getting paid pennies working in the fields to pick crops. I don't want that. I want a real economy to exist.
Yeah, and that's a nice talking point. Who is going to take your challenge to go out and pick the food, the fruit, the veggies, do all of the house cleaning, many of the jobs that are done in our society that we pay for because we have such an excess of wealth in this country?
If legal immigrants want to do it, then absolutely, that's a great solution. And they can get paid a fair wage.
Is
the soft bigotry of low expectations? Sorry, Terry, go ahead.
Pretty much say the exact same thing the woman said to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what.
Yeah. No, this is, and Michael said it. This is the soft bigotry of low expectations. That's that's the reality of this. They are bigots. They are the leftists, Democrats. They are projectionists. Everything they claim that we are. It's actually a self-reflection. They're the racists. They're the bigots. They're all of these things, these isms that they say we are. And all you have to do is let them talk and they show it. But the worst part about that, there's a lot bad about that. First off, the guy's obviously just has very bad ideas about immigrant labor. But the reality is illegals do everything. So this is one of the most frustrating things to me. This idea that illegals only do the jobs that Americans don't want to do. It's such freaking BS. They do everything. They do, and it's not just the farms, it's not just the restaurants, it's not just the housemaids, it's not just the maids in all of the hotels. By the way, you can't, even if American citizens in most of these hotels, if you wanted to get a job, if you were an entry-level worker or you had come out of jail and you were trying to get your life back together, or you're just somebody who needed a job, you can't even get a job at a lot of these places if you don't speak Spanish because they're run by illegal aliens. They've got illegal alien workforce and they want everybody to be able to communicate. And so what do? They go to the lowest common denominator and force you to speak the language of a foreign invader. And so this idea though, but it's not just that. It's truck drivers, as we see. We have illegal alien CDL drivers. It's construction workers. It's every layer of society. It's nurses. It's I don't know of any doctors, but I know of a lot of nurses that are illegal as well. It's police. It's police officers. You got police officers in Illinois that are illegal. I sat with one in a car. Now they rehired the guy.
Yeah, he's back to
total
work.
Insanity. I mean, this is how insane this is. But beyond that, it just shows how these people actually think. They clearly don't know illegals. They just go out there and are told they live in their liberal ivory tower and have everything hand given. You heard what he said. We have excess money. Well, not everyone does. I don't. Yeah,
pay somebody a fair
there's
wage
a lot
to
of
do the
people in
job.
America that don't have excess money. And if there were more jobs available, they might have a little bit more money. And so this idea that illegals have to do those jobs, it's a lie. It's a total outright lie, but it just shows the bigotry that they actually hold.
They want to feel good about themselves. They're paying somebody's illegal abuela there. They're taking care of her in the U.S. That's the other thing. It's the white savior complex. They like to point out to that all the time. But again, like you said.
And you know what's crazy about this too? I travel all over the world. My parents were missionaries in Africa for 10 years. We lived in West Sahara Africa, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Niger. And you look at the people that are coming into America now. In fact, one of the guys I was riding with in Minneapolis last week, there were 2 illegals from Nigeria. They actually ended up kidnapping an ICE officer. It's barely hit the news, but they kidnapped an ICE officer. No, the ICE officers went to apprehend this guy. He went into the car. They got him in the car. The wife got in the driver's seat, drove off with the ICE agents in the car. Thank God they were able to stop the vehicle eventually. But they actually, you know what's crazy? They actually drove to the police station and to try to say, you know, help us, to the police, the illegals that kidnapped the ICE officers. This is how bad this has gotten. And, you know, you think Chicago's bad. I think Minneapolis was the worst I've ever seen it. I mean, between the leftist communists that are out there with their whistles on every corner and the Somali jihadists that have been invited in and all the fraud that's going on, Minneapolis feels like a failed city right now. And it's no surprise that's where the George Floyd and everything else, all that crap came out of, the BLM nonsense that we saw a few years ago. It is a failed city, and it's run by communist leftists who actually incite violence against ICE through their own police officers. But if going back to what they said about the slave labor in America, what infuriates me, we ended slavery in America.
Yes,
slavery still exists in Africa, in Muslim countries in Africa, in Mauritania, in Sahel, in Senegal, in a lot of these countries, slavery still exists. And the slavery in the world that still exists is mostly in Islamic countries. And what's crazy is these same people that will go out there and march with their Palestinian flags against Israel will have no clue that they're actually supporting not just modern day slavery in America, which they do support with illegal alien slave labor, but slavery with like slavery of old, where they have chains on their ankles and the people can't leave the house and they're held captive generationally. That still exists in Muslim countries in Africa.
My wife.
I mean, we can't even. It's insane.
It sounds like my wife. I don't let her leave. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Well, they still do have like literal slave markets in Libya. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. At least Gaddafi kept those out of there. But yeah, I mean, the Democrats have never changed. They've been mad at the Republicans since we ended slavery the first time. They just want to bring it back under a different name today.
That's true. No, that's true. The Democrats, the KKK, it's all the same. It's all about oppressing other people. And the only way leftist policies work is if you have an oppressed class that you can hold, and you can take advantage of. And so whether that's doing your bidding, going out, being the brown shirts for you, or being your slaves, being your low wage workers or no wage workers, that's why I say the Democrat Party today, it's a three-legged stool. It's got the leftist mindset, the communist mindset. They've aligned themselves with this unholy war of jihad because they see the weaponization that jihad can give them, and somehow that it's been given this pass that you can't say anything bad about it. Thank God that's starting to change. Mm-hmm. And then the other leg is the cartels, and that's the money side of everything that the Democrats are doing. And so all of what we see going on right now is some part of that, and they basically pick and choose which side of the stool, which leg of the stool they're going to use to target their opposition or their opponents based on what they think is strategically advantageous at that moment. And so if it's going after ICE, then it's, we want cheap labor. then it's the cartel side. If it's Palestinian flag waving, we love jihad. We love Muslims. We love Hamas. If it's communism, it's the baristas at Starbucks. So it's all the same, though. The enemy's all the same. And we've got to realize that on our side, that this is the enemy that we're facing. We're in a civil war as we speak right now. And if we don't come to terms with that these guys aren't going to just come to, some of them may, there's a few of them that may wake up, but the ones that are leading these movements, they are demons, they are evil, and they have to be defeated. That's it. Yep. I mean, we have to realize that.
No one's going to save us. We have to save ourselves. And people got to wake up and get their asses off the couch and help us for our children at minimum. It's funny Ben was riding along when that cop, do you remember what suburb that was here?
Hanover Park.
When that cop got arrested, and I'm still waiting for my friend. I'm not going to say your name. The ICE officer who said the guy was posting. Another agent found he was posting anti-police and BLM stuff. So I want to get. I'm going to keep bugging
I
him
wonder
until
they
he.
hired him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they hired him back, Ben, and I forgot. I know you saw that, but I saw something on the news a couple days ago. 2 years ago, Pritzker changed the law, right? So they basically hired him back and said it was because of that law that Pritzker changed. And I remember people were questioning it from our side, saying this is crazy. We could potentially be arrested by a legal alien. Oh, they're making fun of us, right? Oh, you're crazy, you're you're fear mongering.
Yeah.
Never ever happened. Just like they do with everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, it's like they say, oh, illegals don't get welfare. There's
Yeah.
rules that they it's everything they say. If they say it, just guarantee it's a lie. And and we're proved right on every single one of these things.
Yeah, they create less crime than us. Remember, that's a huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course they do. If you don't track them,
Yeah,
California.
if
I'm
you
in
don't arrest
California right now. You can't even. A police officer cannot ask for somebody's legal status. They can't ask for their citizenship. If a police officer does that in California, the officer can be arrested. So when you're arresting people, they're not even tracking whether they're here illegally or not. The only time they've ever done the tracking on that is an Arizona study that found that illegals commit far more crime than American citizens or than legal immigrants. Actually, legal immigrants commit far less crime than both categories, in particular because they know they can lose their legal status if they commit a crime. And so the legal immigrants commit less crime, but illegal aliens who already committed a crime to get here commit far more crime when the studies are actually done. But the craziest part is in places like California and Illinois, they intentionally, these judges, it's not just that they're getting a fair, an equal playing field to American citizens or legal immigrants. They're getting special treatment. They're actually dropping charges. Judges are dropping charges on illegals because they know that gives them an easier time to be deported. So somebody like us would commit a crime. If we committed a crime, we would be charged. We'd get the book thrown at us, especially if you're in a liberal neighborhood and they knew you were conservative. Illegal aliens committing the same crime will have those charges dropped or reduced just so that ICE has a harder time deporting them. That's how backwards all of this has become in our country.
Yeah, we had 1,800 let it go of Cook County, and they're trying to act like they'll help, or if you come to bullshit, they're lying. They're putting all of us at risk. What really pisses me off is that Pritzker is at 52%.
It's unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
I don't know if that's true or not. And even if it's not true, it doesn't matter. They have so much control and corruption that they could come out with a number that's 52%. So it doesn't really matter. And we got a bunch of people running for governor. Everyone asks, "Oh, Tara, who do you think is the best position to beat Pritzker?" And I respect all these people coming forward trying to do it right and compromising.
Most of them.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah. Severino's a jerk off. He's not. So he's not even. He's a clown. I know you're watching, you prick. Fuck you. Severino's not even a real candidate. But these other people, So I was on another show, local show. 815 has problems. Hello, guys, if you're watching. And he's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, you want me to tell the truth?" And I knew the answer was going to be yes. I said, "I don't think any of them have a chance. None of them."
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just like California, we got this field of Republican candidates that are phenomenal. Got some amazing candidates on the Republican side. And you look at, it's unfortunately with the top two voting system in California and with the rigged elections and the gerrymandering that we already have, and it's going to be worse with the new lines. It's a rigged game. But I'll say this. If that's true in general, but if you look at the total number of Republican registered voters versus the total number of Democrat registered voters, and it's a huge difference. And independents, there's a big independent voting bloc in California. I don't know if it's the same in Illinois, but if every Republican, or if just a majority of Republicans, if you could get 70, 80%, 90% of Republican voters to show up, we could outvote the fraud in every one of these elections. The problem is you get apathy on our side, and I get it. It's like, oh, what's the point? They're going to steal it anyways, and so it's a tough deal. You do get people running for office that have no business running for office that are there, and you get the other side of that, where you get the Democrats that put Democrat candidates on the Republican side to run for office. I mean, it's and they're actually we're fighting the enemy on our side, and so. Yeah. in blue states, it's a tough battle, and that's my biggest fear. And everything that we've got going on right now, God bless President Trump, God bless ICE, God bless Border Patrol, and all the work that these guys are doing. But you look at,
Yeah, you're right. People are
I
worried.
don't know, and
Sorry, we lost it for a second.
the problem is that you've got, if we don't hold the House and the Senate in 2026 or get more seats, get rid of rhinos and get more seats on the Republican side, MAGA Republicans, we are screwed. Because if we don't pass these executive orders into law, the next Democrat that comes in is going to be worse.
Oof.
And our nation we cannot take another 4 years of somebody like Joe Biden. That's my biggest concern. So people got to wake up. We've got to start fighting back and say we're done with it. Otherwise, my fear is at some point America becomes ungovernable as the United States of America, and at some point where that civil war that we're already in the initial stages on becomes something where we end up having to split up irreconcilable differences, and we just say, you guys go have your side, we'll go have our side. What the Civil War originally was fought over the first time, but this time it's going to be neighbor to neighbor, and that's really what's scary.
Yeah, they are starting their second civil war, the Democrats, and what you do. And so Ben, most everyone knows who's Ben is watching. He puts his life at risk with those agents to go out there. And to his point earlier about some of the people getting fatigued, and they see from the media over and over again, they see lies going into kindergartens, all this bullshit. That's why what he does is so important for us to really see what's going on and what's happening to those officers and getting the truth out there. They have so much control of the media. The media in the United States is more dangerous than in China because they're supposed to be an independent, neutral media. They're not. They're controlled by the Democrats, and they're all saying the same thing. So these idiots on the left think, oh yeah, it's a neutral media. They're good. They're not going to lie to us, and that makes it dangerous. And that's why when he does what he does and goes out there, and he doesn't have a weapon, so you don't have a helmet. He's out in the middle of that shit, and a lot of these people know who he is, and so he puts himself at risk. So you guys, owe him a compliment for doing that. 2 questions before we go, because thank you for coming on. We got AmFest this week, right? I didn't even look anything interesting, cool speakers that you're excited about. I didn't even look at the agenda.
It's everybody. It's everyone you can imagine. They're going to be most of the time. I'll be honest. I don't even get in to watch the speakers because we're just wall to wall with the network, Real America's Voice. I'll be hosting the on the ground with Steve Bannon, doing the interviews with people on the ground, and then from morning till night we've got live coverage. So I'll be doing that. I'll be interviewing you and others from that are coming in from all over the country and around the world. We get this is a global event, and this year in particular, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I think it's going to be the biggest one ever. And so, I'm looking forward to that. It's bittersweet, obviously, having one of the most powerful speakers, most influential people when it comes to young patriotic Americans to be assassinated the way Charlie was. And then to see the divide in MAGA right now because of it. And this is the thing, again, it's like if we allow the left or this division, 2 things that are the most important things to avoid to me. And I'm working on my first book that will be coming out in the next couple months. I should be finishing up here soon. But 2 things that the devil uses more than anything, it's division and distraction. And division in our own party, where you have people like we see right now, where they're going after each other, whether that's on the Israel issue or on Charlie Kirk, where we've got to realize that the enemy is, they're laughing. The enemy doesn't even have to do the job when we're divided amongst ourselves. And distraction, back in my previous life of drugs and alcohol, that was the devil using distraction against me. We've got to avoid those 2 things. But real quick, I want to mention, all of that being said, I'm looking forward to what's coming at AmFest and what God's going to do through it. And I'm praying for reconciliation. And I'm praying that our side comes together and realizes that the enemy, the real enemy, is going to kill us. It's going to destroy us if we don't come together and fight it as one. And so that's my prayer in all of this going forward. And to everybody that's out there watching, back to what Terry, you just said about what we're doing, going out there with ICE. That's why I do it. That's why, Terry's come out. We've done the deportation flight and looking forward to doing more of that. It's to counteract the lies of the mainstream media. And one of the things I get, just one quick anecdote, we were out there with Border Patrol in Houston, and we went to a Home Depot and we rounded up a bunch of illegals, and And then we actually had people, coming out and saying, well, oh yeah, I'm okay with you going after the criminals, but do you have to go to Home Depot? And, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And these aren't conservative Republicans. This isn't MAGA. This is just, Joe Schmo on social media. And what they don't know is 60% of the illegals that we capture half the time have criminal records. Most of the guys out there, a majority of the people that are out there at Home Depot or these places that are asking for work on the corner have criminal records. Because if they didn't, there's a hell of a lot of jobs that you can get that don't involve begging out in the street to get a ride and work that day. And what's crazy to me is one of those guys had molestation charges. And so all these liberals that want the cheap labor that go out to Home Depot to pick these guys up, just think about that, who you're inviting into your house. So it's just an absolute lie. All of it's a lie. We got to come together. That's why my message is very simple. Deport every illegal. DEI.
Exactly.
I want ICE and Border Patrol to get everyone out. And I don't want to have the conversation about who can stay and who's going to go and all that. If you're here illegally, it's time for you to go. I don't care. I don't care what sob story you have. At this point, our country cannot be saved unless we deport every illegal. And at some point, we may be able to have that conversation. But right now, we got to deport them until we actually get laws on the book and we prosecute the criminals in America, not the illegals. We got to get rid of the illegals, but we got to prosecute the enemies within who are aiding and abetting the illegals. All of these, the communist networks, the rapid response networks, all of these communist churches that are aiding and abetting, and the politicians. I want to see mass arrests. I want to see conspiracy charges against these guys. That's what we really need. But anyways, back to your original question, Terry. I'm excited about it. It's bittersweet. As a dad of 3 daughters, it's my biggest fear is leaving them behind. And so, Charlie is an incredible guy. But again, I pray for unity. I pray for God's vision and direction. I pray for safety for everyone that's going there. I pray against the principalities and powers of darkness that want to come and do harm at the event. And we walk in God's angel armor and we keep moving forward. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, cool. So one point, I have people saying the same thing, right? About they haven't committed crimes, right? They haven't committed crimes.
Well, every one of them has committed a crime coming illegally.
Yeah,
that's out of here.
That's what I say.
But additional crimes.
What I say is, listen, okay, I feel sympathetic for them, but there's a but to that. We have rules and laws, right? So does that mean if these people know that, if we could sneak in and slither across the border, we don't commit a crime, that means we have legal entry into the United States and we can stay there because they're not going to do anything. That's bullshit. There's got to be consequences. And another thing they say, well, we need to fix the immigration system. I'm like, why? Because we don't let everybody in? What's broke? I mean, it's broke because we don't let everybody in. No, it's not broke. It should be that way. It's got to be that way. Well, and if it's not, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, go ahead. But I was going to say, to your point, like, we could fix the immigration system. We could make it easier for people to legally enter, but we need better background checks. We need real assimilation. We need to go back to a system where, maybe they're having to do weekly classes, learn what it takes to be an American, learn our history, learn the language. Sure, I'd be all for speeding it up because that's always their complaint. Oh, it's too expensive. It takes 7 years. Well, okay, fine. We'll listen. We'll refine the process. But we're going to be much stricter on who we let in the country. And you're going to have, even once you're a citizen, you're going to have a 10-year ban from any government benefits. You can't bring in your 80-year-old abuela and immediately put her on Social Security. We have to be a real country. No more of this nonsense we've been putting up since the 1950s. It's time for real strict immigration policy and real enforcement. Deport them all. Then we can talk about restructuring things. Build the wall on the northern border. Build the wall on the southern border. Increase ICE. And then we can talk about immigration reform.
So I got one little easy question. Mike, I sent you a funny closing little clip that we're gonna put about my friend that's been attacking me. It's hilarious. Yes, I didn't learn how to use AI. It's hilarious. Anyway, Ben, so I know you're gonna be busy for through the 22nd. What is the next big thing? I know it's kind of fluid. What's the next big thing Ben Bergquam's got after AmFest that you're kind of looking at covering?
Well, so two things. We're continuing to ride with ICE and Border Patrol and expose these guys. I'm really praying again that we start arresting some of these politicians because it's going to be what I saw in Minneapolis. We're heading into some dark times if we don't start arresting the politicians. And to Mike's point, I was going to say a lot of what Mike just said. I think that's exactly right. The most important thing is you have to cut the money off. illegals won't come if they can't get money, if they can't get jobs, for one. So E-Verify is critical, but you also, no welfare for any illegal or legal immigrant. If you're here, even as a legal immigrant, you like you said, you should not be able to get welfare. You shouldn't be, sure as hell shouldn't be Ilhan Omar and be able to be a congresswoman. These people that have no allegiance to our country coming into our country. But all of that, we have to expose that. So I'm going to be doing that and be riding. Got a few trips lined out with ICE at Border Patrol at the beginning of the year. Finishing the book, that'll be coming out. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm working on a new project with the family. I really want this. Our Real America's Voice has a new network. It's Real America's Faith and Family. And I'm working on a traveling road show, family road trip show, where I take the girls across America, my wife, and we show what makes America great. We're homeschooling
That's
our girls.
awesome.
So that's my prayer. We're kind of working out the details on that and how that all works together. But to bring some good news, to shine some light. And then we're also working with the network on doing some town hall stuff that we're going to be going around the country to expose, kind of similar to what MSNBC did the other day with Rachel Madcow in Chicago. We're going to do the opposite, where we actually bring truth rather than lies. So there's a lot happening in 2026.
I didn't know she was in Chicago. So you come to Chicago, I'll help you with that. I would love to.
Yeah.
Get people.
100%. You're my guy, brother.
And so I'm starting. Actually, it's been 30 years in the making. I just started my book. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to get it done before I die. Thank God I got AI and stuff too. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, and I got bad ADD. I'm an old man, and I can't look. And I got bad ADD. And it's like pulling teeth. And I sit down and watch a movie with my wife, and she's like, "Are you gonna watch this?" I'm like, "Let me do a couple things."
I got your video whenever you're ready.
I'm the same way.
All right, so this is a last closing little funny clip. The local folks knows what's been going on. This guy can't. I make fun of him. He said he was going to cancel me, take me out, go after my job, make fun of my wife, hates Charlie Kirk. Ben, I didn't even tell you this, Ben. He said that when my twins were guests at Charlie's when they were 15, I got pictures of my kids, and you see a million people. He said that Charlie Kirk is trying to indoctrinate children, and that my 15-year-old twins spent the night in a hotel with a gay adult male at Turning Point. That's what this guy is.
That's
So
awful.
I'm hitting them
That's
back.
awful.
So this is a little short one. We'll talk after. So show this real quick one here.
You know why I sound crazy? That's because I'm a narcissistic, pathological lying freak who needs meds. Newsom's attorney made fun of me on the stand. He told me that I bet you believe your own lies. It's not fair. He called me out for lying. He also proved under oath that I never obtained a law degree. My grift requires that people think I graduated law school. This isn't fair. It also requires people to think I was a successful businessman. We can't let people know that I just went bankrupt, my business failed, and I have multiple liens and multiple pending judgments and no job! Fucking liar. Fucking liar. Fucking liar. Fucking liar. 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 Fucking liar. Fucking liar. Fucking liar.
So thank you. That was for local folks. I know you guys are laughing your asses off in the little circle here. People from outside the state are like, "What the hell was that?" So thank you very much, everybody. Thursday night, I'm gonna be at Amfest. I don't know if I'm gonna join her in with Mike, or maybe I will. I have no idea. We'll figure something. We'll wing it, right?
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Yeah, just let me know if you got a good signal. We'll get you added in. Otherwise, we'll take care of it over here. But yeah, to everybody's point right now.
One last thing. I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, I'm having dinner with Televerde. I meet with them when I'm out there. Ben, this is a company that was built off of women inside prison, and they started developing this. They've been around for a while, and they teach them in high tech and stuff that I do. So I got connected when one of them cold called me and told me about it. And she was an ex-offender, and she learned how to do SAP and stuff in prison, and she was on sales. I'm like, hey, I was an ex-offender twice. And I built a rapport. I'm going to meet the executives. These women are incredible. When you give an ex-offender, somebody a chance to change their life and they really want it, they're the most passionate, loyal, dedicated employees for life. I'm excited to go meet with some of the women tomorrow night and have dinner with them and hear some of the stories of the great things they're doing. And it's a huge passion of mine. So I'm looking forward to that. Sorry, Mike, go ahead, close it out.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, you guys are both right over the target. We have to fix immigration. We have a short window to do that. We need to get the party unified again, put these differences aside, and put America first. And guys, frankly, The DOJ needs to get their act together. We need some arrests. Remember, we run in about 2 weeks. A lot of this stuff around Russiagate, it passes the statute of limitations, so we need some arrests. But guys, thank you for tuning in with us today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to grow so we can bring more people the news the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. We'll be back on Thursday with even more.